Okay, well, let's take a look at some of the comics that I picked up from GalaxyCon. First one that you're going to see here is going to be Spawn 300. I got the chance to meet Capullo. This is probably the second chance, or the second time that I've tried meeting him. And first time I think I got cut from the line or something like that. That would have been from Chicago C2E2. But this year, the line was handled pretty well. They had like a 2-hour block that they were signing comics from, and I was able to get the Spawn 300 signed by him. You'll see here this at the top. Now him and Scott Snyder were signing together, and I had thought that he had passed this comic on to Scott Snyder, because I guess Scott Snyder did some work in this as well, which I had either forgotten about or just didn't pay attention to when I was looking through it. But it never got signed. I looked back and forth at this comic trying to see if Scott Snyder had signed it. I had seen him signing other Spawn comics as well, but it looks like Capullo was the only one who signed this. But the table where those two were at were just kind of a mess. They had an assistant there that was trying to get him to sign graded comics, while there was another guy there that had probably, oh god, I think he had a stack probably about 40 comics or something they wanted signed, which those guys, they sign like 3. The rest you have to pay like $5 a pop for those, and I think he was getting like both those guys to sign it. So man, we're talking probably that guy was dropping probably $200 or something like that. Let's take the next one. This one's going to be Batman Last Night on Earth. And you can see Capullo signed here. And then we got Scott Snyder that signed up here. I've enjoyed this comic and kind of enjoyed his take with Batman and the New 52 in this series coming out later, kind of finishing up that storyline. So I was pretty happy to get that signed. I also got a couple of my posters that I have signed by those guys as well. So I was pretty happy. I haven't had much luck at all getting Capullo or Snyder to sign anything, going to C2E2. So GalaxyCon, I do have to give them credit. The lines were much better there. They moved through pretty well. Scott Snyder's a pretty nice guy. He's willing to talk to everybody and everything, but it takes time to take photos and talk to everybody, and it's nice to give everybody a nice experience, but sometimes you just kind of have to keep the line moving on. And then this one here, Rockefort signed this at this was at done at C2E2, but DiDio, God, I went back and forth with him when I was talking. I wanted to try and get his last name right, saying it to him, and I did say it, but it's DiDio is what I believe is how it's said. And had a nice little talk with him. The interesting thing is he's kind of like the head of DC, and kind of like in the same position that Stan Lee was in for Marvel. But he was just sitting at a table. He didn't even have a line or anything at his table, and he was just sitting there talking to the occasional person that came up, and myself. And he has done a few comics here and there, and he did do this Sideways comic along with some other things. So I was kind of happy to get him to sign this and sign a DC poster for me as well. And then also he got this. I'm not much of a DC guy, but there was an assistant there at Dan DiDio's table that handed me this. I don't know. That's Dan DiDio's signature, which is in the corner there. There's 2 other people that signed on it. I have no idea who those people are. So in the comments on this video, if you can tell me who signed it, I just was kind of rushed at this point, just trying to get a signature and say a couple nice things to him. But I don't know who this character is, since I'm not that big of a DC guy, other than the few things I know. But I don't know the other 2 people signed or the character. If you could put that in the comments, please. I would like to know who that is. And then we got Ghost Rider here. If you can't tell, I'm kind of a big Ghost Rider fan. And Aaron Cooter was there, and you can see in the corner there, I got him to sign my #1 Ghost Rider that just came out. And had a nice little talk with him. Found out that I believe that he and my wife are from the same town. That kind of blew my mind. So that was kind of funny to find that out. But it was nice to talk to him. I talked to him at C2E2, but again, the lines at GalaxyCon were really good. This one's going to be Mark Bagley. I didn't have like a really nice Amazing Spider-Man comic, so I went ahead and had him sign this True Believers comic, and you'll see he kind of signed in here. I think he was getting like $10 for an autograph if you didn't want it personalized. If you wanted it personalized, you can get whatever you wanted. I'm not much for personalization, and please don't accuse me of being that nasty old seller that sells things on eBay. It's just what I personally like. I don't want things signed, and it's just my personal preference for it. I just like a nice crisp autograph on it. He doesn't really know who I am, so personalization to me just kind of seems a little bit fake. So, but I understand what they're doing is they're afraid this stuff just goes up onto eBay. But anyway, I paid him the $10. I was happy to give him $10 for his time, and tell him I enjoyed his Amazing Spider-Man comics when I was a kid. That was about the time that I was reading Amazing Spider-Man as a child. Hey, you stupid cat! Get here, cat! All right. And then we got Mike Zeck. He was at GalaxyCon as well. He signed it nice and broad here. It was nice to talk to him about Punisher. That was probably one of the first series that I ever collected and read as a kid. I believe I found the limited series, which is the cover and comic that you see here. I believe I got that at an antique show. Back in the day, didn't quite have the comic shows like he had these days. And you found a lot more comics at gun shows and antique shows and stuff like that. But no, actually, I do have to say that I was very, very impressed with his table. No, cat, get back. Okay. And I was very impressed with his table. He gets like $5. He gets like $5 an autograph. He also tries to he wants like $3 for COA. Also, he has quite a few prints and everything that he buys, or that you can purchase there. He also has like a raffle that he does for like signed prints and stuff like that. So it's kind of a way that he uses to like bring people back to his table over and over. It's all very well designed on getting people to stay at his table, come back to his table, and buy more stuff, which I can appreciate that. I like these guys making money because, it's important that they do, and they keep doing this for us guys who want to keep getting autographs and stuff. And then we have Starlin here. I was kind of worried when I first got here at GalaxyCon because Starlin wasn't at his table, and he was probably one of the bigger people other than Snyder and Capullo that I wanted to get to meet and have a book signed by. But I had wandered back through that area probably about 5-10 minutes later, and he just appeared, or he just arrived at his table. So I was able to get in line and boom, get a autograph from him, got him to sign this. You'll see he signed right on the gauntlet there. And he also signed my poster that I have. And we had a fun time trying to find Thanos in the poster. And my poster is just like a collage of different Marvel characters. And we had kind of a little bit of fun just trying to find the character. And, those are little things that I kind of remember when I get to talk to these writers or artists. and just have a little bit of fun. It's a little bit nicer than just getting your book signed and just wandering off. He also mentioned some other either writer or, oh no, it wouldn't be a writer, maybe a writer or writer or artist. I'll have to look him up, and I'll have to put up his information here. But what it was he there's this other person that worked on the books, and as I was wandering by, I got a lot of different people to sign like my Marvel poster. I mean, I probably have, I don't know, 30, 40 signatures of different artists at this point. I haven't really counted them all. Oh no, let me get rid of the cat here. I'm going to pause this right here. Okay, sorry about that. The cat is really interested when I try and do these little videos. So going on with my story, there was another creator. I'll have to do my homework and put his information up here. But he must have been watching me go around to the different Marvel artists, and I walked past his table, and the guy just kind of jumped out and came at me and was like, "Hey, what? Aren't you gonna get my autograph?" And then this guy gets, I guess, like $10 an autograph, as well as Starlin was getting $10 an autograph. So it kind of limits how many things you want to get signed. But I didn't really even know who the guy was off the top of my head, other than, you know, probably the homework I'm going to do looking this guy up. But it's the most aggressive I've ever seen a guy come after me trying to get me to sign something for him. And I kind of felt bad, but I just kind of told the guy I was looking around. I was just trying to get an idea if everybody was there, and, you know, just trying to get all my books signed while I was there. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. He was, you know, kind of getting after me about why he's not getting the opportunity to sign the poster. And, you know, if I don't know who you are off the top of my head, or I don't know if I'm going to be paying people that I don't quite know. So anyway, that's a little weird thing that happened when I was at the show. Next one is Ron Lim. He was the artist for Silver Surfer back when I used to read Silver Surfer. You can see him signed on the board here. I've always liked this comic. This was kind of always a cover that stuck out in my mind with Silver Surfer. Is that Firestar? Firestorm? Not Firestorm, Firestar. Always liked this, always kind of stuck out in my head. And he was nice to talk to, looked like he had his kids there and everything. So looks like he was having fun. And it was fun watching those guys yell out to the other artists, you know, joking and stuff like this. He was also kind of talking to Fabian Nizia, I believe, who was like the co-creator of Deadpool, which I have to say, his table is very dead, which seemed kind of weird. But anyway, that is Ron Lim. And then, let's see, I think this was Jose Delgado. He did Transformer comics, and I'm a big collector of Transformer toys and comics, and it was awesome to get to meet him and get a comic book signed, one of my Transformer comics. So that was fun. Then we had Peter David, which is a longtime writer of The Incredible Hulk. That would have been when I was collecting comic books. Always enjoyed him. And I thought it was nice to go up and, you know, I just told the guy, you know, hey, I enjoyed your Incredible Hulk comics when I was a kid. And he just kind of looked at me with like I don't know, just a look of like he just didn't even care. And he's like, whatever, you know. And he wasn't charging for his autographs, but I did kick in $5 for him, so maybe that made his day a little bit happier. So hopefully that made his day a little bit. That was at the very beginning. So that's going to be Peter David. He signed up here kind of small. I was hoping he would sign somewhere around here, but he did say that he gets this comic a lot to sign, so that was interesting. So anyway, that's going to be the last comic. The one comic I got behind here was something that I didn't end up getting signed. Chris Baccalo. I never caught him. I always thought that this was kind of a funny cover, but I kind of missed out. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Please leave a comment if you do realize who that one art was and signatures were. Let me know in the comments. Talk to you later. Bye.